is me, Ruowen Huang. I woke up super early today. I get it. Majority of the people are early riser, and I have the privilege to sleep in. But some years ago, I decided I'm just nocturnal. If you can categorize me as a animal, I think I'm a nocturnal because my brain seems to be more active, or I'm more awake at nighttime. So if I have to wake up before 9 o'clock, honestly, if I have to wake up, physically get up out of my bed before 9 o'clock, I would feel I don't have enough sleep throughout the day. So anyway, this morning I have to drive my daughter to this museum, about 30 minutes drive, right? So I have to get up like before 8. So I know it's all in my head, but I'm like, oh my God, I got up so early. And when I got up so early, I guess somehow my mind, my body don't synchronize quite well. So it's continuous seeking for food I don't usually crave. So anyway, joke aside, I'm probably the only person among the family who always complain it's so early in the morning because my brain is not functioning properly. But I'm still going to do the broadcast. Before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I want to talk a little bit financial. I'm not an accountant, but I want to share a little bit financial advice I have for you all who is stressed about money. It's quite funny how in the past month or so, I got quite a few months or 2 months, I got quite a few people come to me due to their financial situation, like they feel very stressed. And before I really get into it, I really want you guys to have a very good idea. You are aware. Most of stress is not really come from the actual things that happen. Most of stress is coming from the story like you create in your head. Of course, based on your background, your understanding, your way of thinking, you then will generate different kind of stress, right? And to symbolize, a lot of people symbolize money as a freedom of life. Therefore, if they experience difficulty or tightness in money, in their daily basis, they very quickly make it become part of their stress. So the stress is not like how should I describe it? It's not really real. Just understand what I try to say is stress mostly created by people, the story that we create in our head, right? Most of people focusing on stress, therefore you create more stress. Some people learn, you do have to train your brain to think about solution, right? Then the stress will not be as significant. Let me get into detail of that. Most of people will come to me and say, we're so broke. They probably say 5 times I'm so broke. And then they will say, I do look into solution, but there's no solution to it. You know what I mean? We already maximize our income. We do everything that we can. And then every week, like every month, we still spend more than we earn, right? So if you understand, if you follow I really hope you follow me enough to understand what I try to tell you here. You manifest your reality. If you're focusing on problem, you then create problem. Universe doesn't know what is good or bad. Universe doesn't really know exactly what would benefit you. Universe, the energy word, you asked for it, I give it to you. So what do you ask for? I'm so stressed. I'm broke. You at home saying I'm broke. And then you send out this frequency, say, let me broke, because otherwise I got nothing to worry about. Right? So if you understand how it works, then you will realize if you ever caught yourself thinking about or talking about I'm broke, try to say something nice so you can overcome. Step 1, focusing on solution instead of problem. It does take time to train, but you then will train your whole frequency around you to send out to the universe, say, don't make me broke, because that's not the solution I want. I want the end goal. What's the end goal? The abundance. I want to live in wealth. I want happiness. I want stress-free. Whatever that is, focusing on the solution or focusing on the goal that you want instead of the problem. But does that mean your problem will go away? No. But let me bring back to what I said earlier. Stress is mostly created in your head. When a lot of time the client come to me when they indicated they are broke or they are tight with money, they don't really know how much they spend in monthly basis. Like what is essential, what is need, and what is want. So very often I realize I'm really not a psychic. I've all of a sudden become a financial advisor. But I thought that is called common sense. Common sense is if you are stressed about money, instead of letting it sink in your head, remember your head only have a perception, you don't have an idea. To make it real for you, write it down. I will often recommend you to write it down. You will say, well, I don't know how to write it down, or I didn't know. If you don't know, that's okay. Start recording your expense. If you have to pay the rent this much, this is essential. If I have to pay for utility, that's how much is it? Write it down. The reason you have to write it down is all those stress that you have in your head all of a sudden become reality in front of you. You know what I mean? So you will have a very good idea that your mind will start to see where the problem is and how you can fix it. You know what I mean? Like if you start to categorize your expense as what you need, this is what I have to spend every month. There's no wiggle room around it. Like, you know, this is my rent, or this is my utility, and this is my food cost, and this is essential, you know. And if is any room you can change there. If you're renting, then you figure out, well, can I rent something cheaper instead? Can I try to save the electricity if I'm not at home? Is there anything I can work around? You know what I mean? Once you see the problem, you can actually work it. When it's in your head, you got no clue how to work it. And then you will also categorize something called want. That means you don't really have to spend it, but you spend it anyway. That is, it can be your entertainment. You're going out for food, or you buy some clothes, or you go to a movie, or things like that. If you're really tight with money, then always try to see if you can eliminate your wanted category and see where can you cut down from that. A lot of people want to save money. Figure out a number. Don't just think about save money, because really you save $5 is money, you save $10,000 is money, you save $1 million is money. You know what I mean? So give yourself a goal. Remember, always write it down so it becomes very visually clear to you. It becomes a very simple mathematic. Not instead of stress, I'm so stressed. Write it down, really, write down. So I'm going to say this going to apply to any other stress. Maybe I talk about in different episodes, but basically any stress that weigh you down, put it in front of you, then you can actually try to work it. Don't let it sit in your head, because the longer you sit, the stressor you feel. So once you get this category, the need, you understand this is how much I need to save out. This is a basic expense I have to make. Then understand your want. Then you will know if you can work in that area or not. Then you figure out, okay, if I really want to save money, then give yourself a number. This is a number I want to save up. Okay, work your way back. In how many years do I want to save out this amount of money? If I work my way back, how much money do I have to save every month? You really have to force yourself to do this. You know what I mean? Because it's very simple math. It's just work yourself. And if you save up 5 years based on this rate, it's not going to meet up to that standard, then you start asking yourself, what kind of investment was safe investment or riskier investment? It depends on everybody's different, right? You figure out what kind of opportunity can I invest myself into to get myself into that level. So what I'm here to suggest to you is seriously, I really hope this is not, again, a question you should come to a psychic. This is question any financial advisor will give you a better idea. But if you don't have money to go to financial advisor, basic things, write down all your expense, your income and expense on the piece of paper. Then it's a simple math question. Then you can do it. Then you can, if you do want to invest more to reach that goal, then you can consult any financial advisor and then see what's my opportunity. How can How can I invest my money smartly so then I can get my return? You know what I mean? And aside from this, aside from write down, this is another thing it really tongued me for a while. Like, most of people have credit card. Most of people, especially those who always say how stressed they are and how poor they are and how they always overspend. Okay, rule number one, if you have a sense you are overspend, the chances you are overspending. You know what I mean? So if you have that sense, the chances you are. So if you have a credit card, I do recommend you, maybe having a credit card is not a good idea for you, but if somehow, some way you insist I have to have it, or some reason, please understand, most of the debt come from interest. I know interest, most of you don't really look into it. I just using debt to pay over my debt. But let me say this is common sense. I really hope you guys have it sink into your head. Most of credit card have 20% interest. You know what 20% interest is? That means if you are spending $100, that's assuming you already had debt. If you spend $100, literally speaking, you're spending $120. You know what I mean? I know it may not be a big deal for you, but imagine if you owe $100,000. If you owe $100,000, that basically means $20,000 are pure interest. You know what I mean? You pay for mortgage. It's not even that high. So how can you pay 20% on something you didn't even buy or purchase? So really, if you are already struggling financially, I really suggest credit card is not a good way for you. If you can cut it. If you can stop yourself not using it, don't use it. You know what I mean? If you cannot pay off every month, please just don't use it. Really. A lot of time I would recommend people to borrow money from bank or line of credit to pay off credit card bill. Some of you, I get it, still come back to you and say, but it doesn't make sense. I'm borrowing more money. See, you focusing on borrowing more money. But then the line of credit or, personal credit or from the bank, you will have, check your interest. What I'm saying is really check your interest. Like for now in Canada, we have about 3% to 4%. You know what I mean? So even if I borrow some money to pay off my credit card, that's assuming my credit card is $100,000, right? Every month, if I cannot pay it off and I continue to let it run interest, and then it's gonna be $120,000 every month. That means $20,000 I pay every month, right? If my bank have 5% interest, 6%, let's say 6-7% or whatever interest, I borrow money from them. Yes, I still pay interest, but that is 6-7%. I'm just gonna give you the highest quote. I don't know exactly what the rate is all over the world, but I'm just gonna give you an idea. But this is very simple math, okay? So in the bank, I will owe $107,000, right? Versus credit card, I will owe $120,000. So simple math. You will save yourself $13,000 every month. You know what I mean? So it's very simple fact. I know when I ask you to borrow some money, if you can, you think I'm crazy, but I'm really not crazy. It's really simple math. So anyway, just my little financial advice to you guys. I'm not financial advisor, but I think this is something like it fall into common sense. Have a little bit common sense. That is, if you're stressed about money, understand first, it's mostly the story you create in your head. And you continue sending universal signals to get you poor, get you stressed. You don't want that. So how do you break through that is tell yourself to focusing on the goal. What kind of goal you want? I'm aware of the problem, and I will figure out a solution to reduce it, but I should focusing on the goal. What kind of life that I want to live in? Then work your way back. Now, if you realize the stress still in your head, what can you do? Write it down. Put it down on a piece of paper. Have the number very clearly indicated in front of your eyes, categorize into something you need to pay and something you want to pay, and then see what you can do around it, because you do have a budget to work on. If you do have a saving plan, work your way back. Do give yourself a number. Don't just say, I want to be rich. Who doesn't want to be rich? But how rich is rich to you? How can you reach that goal? How much money you have to force yourself to save? You do have to take it into consideration and move your way back. Then focusing on credit card. Usually, not just credit card, focusing on the interest rate. I get a lot of time people just want to borrow money to cover some debt. They're focusing on that. I have debt, right? Then they just continue try to borrow money to cover that debt. But please look into interest, because it does fall into your, it should fall into your common sense. Everybody offers different interests on the money you loan. Understand the higher rate of the interest you paying something you're not really spending, therefore continuously accumulate. Because imagine this, if 100,000 I borrow, I didn't pay on the credit card, that'll be $120,000. Next month around, it is interest on top of 120,000. So you really is going to be endless. You know what I mean? So use your money wisely. I'm saying money is a material, so the chance to solve a problem, material problem, is using your logic. So don't keep it in here. Try to figure out yourself with your emotion or with your spirits, or let it go away. It doesn't work that way. So have your logic come in place. Deal with some material issue that you're dealing with, and I believe you will have a better resolve on that. So anyway, just a little bit personal financial advice to you all who've been coming to me asking for some financial advice. I hope this will help you. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, next time. Bye.